Hello, good morning, all the viewers. Today, let's discuss about Victoria Memorial in Kolkata. The Victoria Memorials in Kolkata, India was constructed by the British architect Sir William Emerson, who was the president of Royal Institute of British Architects. Sir Emerson was commissioned by Lord Curzon, the Viceroy of India, to design the memorial. Let's see some of the construction of memorial, who was overseen by several engineers and architects, including Sir William Emerson. Emerson was the chief architect of the project. He designed the memorial layout, architecture, and the garden. Number 2. Sir Vincent H. H was the superintendent architect of the project. He worked closely with Emerson to oversee the constructions of the memorial. Number 3. John Beck. Beck was a Scottish engineer who was responsible for designing the memorial, drainage, and sanitary systems. Number 4. Charles Henry Hayes. Hayes was a British engineer who works on the memorial structure, design, and the construction. The construction of the Victoria memorials took around 15 years to complete, from 1906 to 1921. The memorial was officially opened to the public on December 28, 1921. The Victoria Memorial is a large marble building in Calcutta, West Bengal, India. It was built between 1921 and 1926. It is dedicated to the memory of Queen Victoria, then Empress of India, and it's now a museum and tourist destinations. Here are some key features and facts about the Victoria Memorials. Number 1. Architecture. The memorials is a mix of Indian and European architectural styles, with a blend of Mughal, Egyptian, Deccani, and Gothic element. It is made of white Makrana marbles. Number 2. The building is designed in the shapes of a dome, with a central chamber surrounded by a series of corridors and galleries. Museum. The memorial house and museums that showcase collections of artifacts and exhibits related to the British Raj and the history of India. Garden. The memorial is surrounded by a beautiful garden, which includes a lake, walking path, and a variety of trees and flowers. Statue and sculpture. The memorial features several statues and sculpture of the Queen Victoria, as well as other nobles figures from British and the Indian history. The Victoria Memorial was built to commemorate Queen Victoria Diamond Jubilee in 1897. However, the construction was delayed due to the outbreak of World War I, and it was finally constructed in 1926. Current status. Today, the Victoria Memorial is one of the most popular tourist destinations, attracting millions of visitors each year. It is also a symbol of Indian rich cultural heritage and its complex history and British colonialism. Overall, the Victoria Memorial is a stunning example of architectural grandeur and a testament to Indian rich cultural and heritage. Some of the key exhibit and collection stored inside the Victoria Memorials: art and artifact, painting, sculpture, furniture, textile. Painting. The memorial has an impressive collection of painting, including work by European and Indian artists. Sculpture. The museum features a range of sculpture, including the marble, bronze, and stone sculpture. Furniture. The memorial has a collection of antique furniture, including pieces used by British officials and Indian royalty. Textile. Some museums showcase a range of textiles, including fabric, embroidery, and tapestries. Historical exhibit. Queen Victoria Gallery. This gallery features exhibits related to Queen Victoria's life, including her coronations, marriage, and families. The British Raj. The memorial has exhibits on the histories of the British Raj, including the Indian Rebellion of 1857 and the Indian Independence Movement. Indian history. The museum features exhibits on Indian history, including the ancient Indus Valley civilizations, the Mughal Empire, and the Indian national movement. Calcutta Gallery. This gallery showcases the history of the Calcutta, formerly Calcutta, including its foundings, growth, and development. Personal belongings and memorables. Queen Victoria personal belongings. The memorial has a collection of Queen Victoria personal belongings, including her jewelries, clothes, and accessories. British officials' memorables. The museum features exhibits on British officials who served in India, including their uniforms, medals, and personal belongings. Indian royalty memorables. The memorables has exhibits on Indian royalty, including their jewelries, clothes, and personal belongings. Other exhibits: coins and currency. The museum has a collection of coins and currency used in India during the British Raj, maps, and atlas. The memorial features a range of maps and atlas related to Indian history and geography, photographs, and albums. The museum has a collection of photographs and albums related to Indian history, British officials, and Indian royalty. These exhibit and collections provided a unique glimpse into Indian rich history and cultural heritage. The Victoria Memorial in Kolkata, Indian showcase the stories and exhibits related to several noble personalities, including British monarch, Queen Victoria, King Edward VII, King George V. Queen Victoria. The memorial is dedicated to Queen Victoria and her life, regions, and legacy are showcased through various exhibits. King Edward VII. The museum features exhibits on King Edward VII, who succeeded Queen Victoria and played a significant role in shaping British-Indian relations. King George V. The memorial has an exhibit on King George V, who was the Emperor of India during the British Raj, and some British officials. Lord Curzon. The museum showcases the life and legacy of Lord Curzon, who was the Viceroy of India from 1899 to 1905. Number 2. Lord Dalhousie. The memorial feature exhibits on Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General of India from 1848 to 1856. Number 3. Sir John Lawrence. The museum has an exhibit on Sir John Lawrence, who was the Viceroy of India from 1864 to 1869. Let's see about Indian royalty. Maharaja Ranjit Singh. The memorial showcases the life and the legacy of Maharaja Raj Singh, who was the founder of the Sikh Empire. Number 2. Maharaja Scindia. The museum features exhibits on Maharaj Scindia, who was the ruler of the Maratha Empire. Number 3. Maharani Lakshmi Bai. The memorial has exhibit on the Maharani Lakshmi Bai, who was the queen of Jhansi and a key figure in the Indian rebellion in 1857. Let's talk about some freedom fighters. Rabindranath Tagore. The museum showcases the life and legacy of Rabindranath Tagore, who was a renowned poet, philosopher and freedom fighter. Subhash Chandra Bose. The museum features exhibit on Subhash Chandra Bose, who was a prominent freedom fighter and leader of the Indian National Army. Mahatma Gandhi. The museum has exhibit on Mahatma Gandhi, who was a key fighter in India's struggle for independence. Let's talk about Gardens of the Victoria Memorials in Calcutta. The Gardens of Victoria Memorials in Calcutta, India, are stunning examples of British-era landscape design, blending Indian and European styles. Here's a description of the garden, layout and design. The gardens cover an area of approximately 64 acres, surrounding the Victoria Memorial Building. The layout is designed in a systematical pattern with walking path, garden, and water features. Gardens and floral display. Rose garden. A beautifully maintained rose garden with a varieties of rose species. Mughal garden. A traditional Mughal style garden with intricate water features, fountains, and walking path. English garden. A serene English styles gardens with a lush greenery, flowering plants, and a walking path. Herbs garden. A garden featuring a varieties of herbs, including medicinals and aromatic plants. Let's talk about water features. Lake. A large lake with a walking path and benches, offering a beautiful, peaceful atmosphere. Fountain. Several fountains are scattered throughout the gardens, adding to the serenity of the gardening surrounding. Water channels. Narrow water channels, reminiscent of the traditional Mughal garden, add to the beauty of the garden. Let's talk about statue and sculpture. Queen Victoria statue. A prominent statue of Queen Victoria is located in the garden. Other statues, statue of the others notable figures, including British officials and Indian royalty, are scattered throughout the garden. Walking path and sitting areas. Walking path. Well-maintained walking path, lined with trees and flowering plants, allow visitors to stroll through the garden. Sitting areas, benches and sitting areas are provided throughout the garden, offering visitors a place to rest and enjoy the surrounding. Lighting and maintenance. Lighting. The gardens are beautifully lit in the evening, highlighting the stunning architectures and landscaping. Maintenance. The gardens are meticulously maintained by the Victoria Memorial Halls and the garden staff, ensuring a clean, green, and peaceful environment for visitors. The gardens of the Victoria Memorials are a must-visit attractions in Kolkata, offering a escape from the hustling and bustling of the city. Thank you. Lastly, I request all the viewers to come and visit the Victoria Memorial in Kolkata, the city of joy. Now you see and you will learn a little bit from the story of Victoria Memorial. Thank you so much. Here some collection pictures from student of Mount Everest College, who was led by Ms. K. Kitini, Assistant Professor, Botany, Mount Everest College, and I also enjoy with them in this precious moment.